So imefika ule wakati wa kuweza kuingia kwenye mjadala, na leo kwenye mjadala tunakwenda kuzungumzia uchumi bunifu. Je, serikali na taasisi nyingine husika zinakandamiza, zinasakama vipaji ambavyo kwamba tuko navyo, na hususan kwenye upande ima vipaji vikue au vibaki pale pale? Tunazungumzia kwenye swala la senti, miundombinu ya kuwezesha uchumi bunifu kuweza kukua. Wanaita ni creative economy.
Yes.
Sawa. So wageni wetu wale ambao kwamba tumeanza kupiga mbiu kuanzia alfajiri, alhamdulillah kwa wakati wamefika. Tunashukuru sana kwa hilo. Mimi Barisa hapa, lakini niko na Josh, alafu pia upande wa pili niko na Shamsa pale. Ametulia. She's the only lady in the studio.
The queen in the room.
Yeah, the queen herself. Kuna siku ile ni lini hukutokea, tulikuwa tumekutumwa kafanyisha. Wakawa wawili.
The question was well balanced. I enjoyed that day.
Inapiga Shamsa, anapiga huko, alafu wanapiga. Anasema Lakini anyway, karibu sana, asante sana Josh. Honors ya welcome again.
Nashukuru sana kwa vile umeanza your introduction talking about how the creative economy is very important.
Yes.
In the direction of Kenya as a whole. Na leo tukaleta wataalam. Yeah. Specialists, washikadau,
wazoefu,
multi stakeholders. Sijui kama I'm using the right words. On my father's left we have 14 times award winning veteran yet still in the game, DJ Lenium in the building, who's also a creative strategist, a brand influencer, and so much more. Labda unaweza salimu watu wafananishe sauti.
I love the intro. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Feels good when someone gives you accolades. So nifiti. Good morning world, wherever you're listening to. Swahili Pot FM. Wananiita Daktari wa Mziki, DJ Lenium. As you've been told, been in the industry since I was in high school. Yeah, nilingia industry after suspension that turned out to be my career for the next 21 years.
Yes.
So yeah, yes, creative industry basically is my cup of coffee. Yes. Yeah, I do several things. The DJ is the brand, but I'm an MC, I'm an actor, an event planner. A lot. As long as it's legal under the sun, I will do it.
100%.
As long as
it's legal under the sun.
Nataki shughuli.
Please don't overthink.
Amazing sana. Yeah. Welcome so much to
Thank
the,
you, bro.
to the
Thank you guys.
Lenium.
Thank you.
On his right hand side, you know one thing, Mombasa is the home of entertainment and home of culture. Lakini kuna watu wanajaribu sana ni watu wa Nairobi. Kwa hivyo tumepata import leo. There's a culture that is coming up in Nairobi, and it's stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedy is something that is about to revolutionize the game in terms of entertainment in Kenya. And the people who are doing it best wanaitwa punchline comedy. Wanatoka Nairobi. They do their gigs quite often pale Two Grapes, but they also are a touring bunch. But today in studio is Eric Lu Savali. He's part of Punchline Comedy, so he's gonna talk much more about what they do. Welcome to Mombasa, Eric. Kwanza.
Asante sana. Yeah. I practice this, so I have to use it. Sabalheri, Guten Tag, morning. Hizo zote.
Ziachilie zote.
Sasa lakini mkae mkijua hard drive ya Kiswahili inaenda ikiisha sasa. Bundles zimepungua.
Let me tell you, funny manner.
Hiyo sasa nimeongeza pia.
Wewe.
Yeah, my name is Eric Lu Savali, Punchline Comedy Club, Nairobi. I'm a creative director, stand-up comedian, writer, voice-over artist, producer, a lot of things. Mpishi, cook, trophy husband. Yani, hiyo vitu yote yenye unaweza taka.
Umeamua
That is
useme
me.
trophy husband.
Trophy husband, yani I am the prize. Consolation prize, lakini bado the prize.
Sharekebisha.
But it's very nice to be here at Swahili Pot. Nimefurahia sana. We have an amazing welcome in Mombasa. We are currently here doing training for the next generation of stand-up comedy. There's a lot of interest. Kuna wasanii wengi sana hapa Mombasa wamekuwa interested in basically launching off their comedy careers, and so it's a great opportunity for us to be here and to be able to share space na time with the local comedians hapa. We've been here since Monday. We've had amazing engagement with different people who are stakeholders in one way or the other in terms of stand-up comedy. Lakini above all, ningependa kusema sikujua this was a trap, sababu nimeletewa heavyweight amekuwa kwa industry over 20 years. Mi mwenyewe niko na box bantamweight, kumbe nimeletewa heavyweight. Ni kama ile boxing ya majembe na mbavu ni sasa mimi wananiweka mawe.
I love this
But
game.
Thank you very much.
Karibu
It's
sana.
amazing to be here. Nashukuru sana.
The 550 million pounds.
Sasa hiyo mimi ni 2 kg.
Okay.
Lakini bado ni trophy husband. Me I'm still stuck there.
Mbona yenye imeshikwa?
I literally pulled the mic when he said trophy husband. I'm used to hearing trophy wives, but this is new. We have to.
Trophy husband, as a man you should also pia tukubali tuwekwe, pia tukubali, let us be appreciated. Gentlemen, pia we kubali ukwe passenger princess ama passenger prince.
Handshake. We have one in
Sali
Pia tukubali, pia ladies, pia sisi tunataka tuwe spoiled, Ukilete maua, tukule, utupikie, open the door for us.
Lenium mweshtuka tu.
Sasa, this battle I can't win because I'm the only lady in the house right now. But sasa mukikuwa passenger princesses, if we're getting you flowers, you're opening the doors. Who's doing that for us now?
Both. And ni balance, unaona? Ni balance. Life is about balance. The left hand washes the right hand. So the same thing. Sisi wote tunaweza kuwa hata passenger princesses. Tukae wote pande moja so we can never go anywhere. Unaona?
But do we say?
No, we don't.
Aya, Josh,
sasa
tuanze interview.
What an intro.
I should keep you away from funny men. This is what they do. Now, let's get down to business.
Yes.
We, in my personal opinion, because I also believe I'm a creative.
You are a creative.
I am
a creative.
I am a
You are not
creative.
supposed to believe wewe ni creative.
Mimi ni creative.
Yes, a point of correction.
Yes.
Sasa creative Josh answer.
Tuanze.
Yes.
As a creative, I believe we are in a situation whereby we realize that the creative industry is like the new frontier in the Kenyan market. Yet, just like many other spaces in Kenya, we're still figuring out what is happening. And hence, we ourselves, as the participants of this industry, look forward to things happening. The government also looks forward to doing certain things or creating certain policies in which they believe is going to propel the industry. But from where you're seated in your line of work, because now we're talking about, this is stand-up comedy, this is music and entertainment in another sphere. In your personal capacities, where do you think we are at as an economy in Kenya?
Personally, ningesema kwanza, because I'm a gentleman, tasema DJ is fast. So the DJ can go.
Okay, thank you. I think the first thing I would say is I wish the government would get to understand this industry in the sense of the creative industry is not entertainment. It's an infrastructure. Very important. Now, any infrastructure in any country, in any developing place, has systems and how things run. So you see, most of the times the creative industry is taken as people who are by the ways. You see, you will plan a budget for the health department, for the education department, for the you name it, roads, engineering, accounts, you name everything is not. When it comes to the end, ile ambayo imebakia ndio utasikia hii wacha tupatie wale maactors, hii wacha tupatie wale waimbaji, hii wacha tupatie wale watu wa kuchekesha, wale ma DJ. You see, so we are taken as a by the and the problem of being a by the way is your issues are never put as a priority.
Yes.
So you see, at the end of the day, we sound like hyenas in the jungle, making noise. Yes, you're an animal. You're part of the animal kingdom, but you'll never be taken serious.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the problem. So if that change would happen, I call it step one. Because again, anything is baby steps. You see now, unfortunately, with the creative industry is one industry that you don't go to school to learn. It comes naturally. I can't today tell you I'm taking you to school to be a comedian. Bro, if you're not funny, you're not funny.
100%.
You know, so it comes naturally. Now, based on your comedy or whatever you have, you can now upskill it, you know, by perfecting and doing a few things. Same thing with musicians. That's why people go to production school, people go to vocal schools. Same thing with DJs and MCs. It's the same way. Now, you can't do that. You can't compare that industry with an engineer or a surgeon or a teacher or an accountant. These are things you have to go to school, learn modalities, learn courses and modules. And once you have upgraded, you're able, it's something that is based on stone, unlike the creative industry, which changes with time. For instance, I'm a millennial, and when I was 25 years old, the things we were doing was seen unheard of, you know, because again, the Gen Xers had their own style of doing things. Fast forward to 2026, and the things we do are now being phased out because the Gen Zs are pushing things. And I say, at the end of the day, this is one of the generations that has made a stand in anything, whether it is the creative industry, whether it is the health industry or anything. So based on that, I would believe the government would put such priorities first. Because at the end of the day, let me tell you, the Gen Zs have made a difference. And let's forget about the creative industry. Just look at what Kenya started. Once they stood up, we've seen several countries standing up, including all the way to India. People, as in, they've realized, you know what, we can stand up for our rights because based on 1, 2, and 3 policies that are not working or that are unfair, we can do this. So it's the same thing with the creative industry. And I do not understand why the government does not give, not necessarily priority, but give the industry a position. Because you see, when there was a time IT never had a position in the government. ICT was unheard of. It was somewhere in between. But now ICT is a docket on its own. So why can't the creative industry have a docket on its own and things are run? Now, the unfortunate bit and what I don't like is, and with no fear or malice, is the president would go out and say that we are supporting the creative industry. Very good. I love that. But we are not seeing the fruits trickling down. And it's not even a Mombasa thing. We say, ati sisi tuko Mombasa, yeye anaannounce akiwa Nairobi naenda kwa watu wa Nairobi. We have a Nairobian in the house, and I'm sure he'll attest the same thing, that it's not trickling down. So maybe now that is where Salim, Jeff, and Chapsa, I would say that's where we need to start healing the wound. Because the noise being made by the creatives will always be there.
Okay.
Yes.
Asante sana. Before Lu uingie, naomba niruke huko. Alafu utakuja uingie. Alafu niko na swali. Kama mtajibu nyote wawili, mtaangaliana ile mtakavyojibu. Lakini wacha nikimbie huko kwanza nipate tone la sport, alafu turudi tuendelee hii conversation. Kumbe si ya kitoto. Now, daktari amezungumza his part. Nataka reaction yako before now to follow up questions.
The one thing that is very significant, now this is also, again, we have to speak with wisdom and courage. Anytime we have an authoritarian regime, the first thing that goes is the arts. Anytime we have an authoritarian regime, the first thing that goes is the arts. Because you cannot tell an artist how to think. You cannot tell a creative how to think. Everything else ambayo Lenium ameongelea, when we talk about a teacher, when we talk about an engineer, when we talk about a physicist, there are structures and bounds that are able to hold them. So they are corralled in a certain way. Yani wamefungiwa kwa njia kwa box fulani.
Mali fulani.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, a creative does not have a box. That's why they say you're thinking outside the box. And a person that cannot think, the person that thinks outside the box, you cannot control their thought process. And that's one of the most dangerous things against authoritarian regimes, because wewe hautafata ile panel beating wamekuwekea. You will go beyond, you'll color beyond the lines. And as we speak, we are at the most dangerous space of creativity that this republic has ever experienced or seen. How do I mean? Kitu ya kwanza ni, before, when you're looking at different movements and different ways of expression, it was very structured and very lean and very limited. So either you had to have a newspaper, you had to have a radio, or if you're lucky enough, you had to have TV. The emergence of the internet means that we are not controlled. Unaona? Sasa hivi venye tuko hapa, there are people who are listening in Nyali, but there are also people who are listening all the way in Mandera. And that means that this particular platform that we have and the freedom that we have is allowing us to create in a bigger space, in a bigger way. However, technically what's happening right now is that our space is shrinking, and our space is shrinking simply because the government understands the power of what creativity can do, and instead of enhancing it, they try and milk it. That is the thing. Tunatumika. And what tunatumika inamaanishaje? For instance, the biggest auditorium in Kenya, the biggest government auditorium in Kenya is a 430-seater capacity auditorium, Kenya National Theatre. 430.
Yeah.
430 is
Watu
the biggest.
400.
Watu 400.
na 30.
Yes. 430-seater. That auditorium just underwent a refurbishment. Now, if you compare that to somewhere, for example, like, let us look at South Africa.
Okay.
If I look at UCT, the University of Cape Town,
Yes.
their auditorium, hata tusiende South Africa, turudi hapa. Braeburn Theatres, Nairobi. The seating capacity is actually almost 800 people. The biggest auditorium size yenye tunaita state of the art is called a Jane Bhavan. It is a private auditorium that is 800-seater. If I just look at somewhere like Cape Town, I have attended Comedy Choice Awards, Savannah Comedy Choice Awards pali, and you're looking at an auditorium that is small, it's not government controlled, but you're looking at almost 1,800-seater. So what does it tell you?
That's the best in Africa?
No, that is a standard one. Hiyo iko pale.
Tena indoor.
Yes. So when you look at it, you must understand that there is something fundamentally wrong when tunaweza tukasema we want to build affordable housing for people. Yet some of the people who we want to be able to do that will not be able to afford because they're in the creative space.
Weka mawe.
Yes. Yeah. Why do I need for example, if you want to do a film right now, tuseme someone has been cast and anataka kufanya film, you're going to need no less than 16 different licenses. 16 different licenses. My thing is this. The creatives in Kenya, this is Mombasa, Nairobi, Kisumu, Turkana, anywhere, are not looking for help from the government. Let me be very clear.
What are they?
We are not looking for help from the government. We are looking for systems and structures that will enable us to do what we need to do. Okay? And every time I hear someone goes on radio, on TV, and I say, oh, serikali saidia, there is no such thing as serikali saidia. It is the responsibility of the government to fulfill its mandate. It is not us to beg to say, oh, tusaidie tukuwe na mali ya kufanya. It's like going to your parents to say, Mom, Dad, I need food. No, it is their responsibility to provide food for you. So the idea of us being in a very small space, in a shrunken space, a lot of times it is done consciously. It is not done subconsciously. It is done consciously. And those spaces will continue shrinking, as it were.
Okay, unasema wanafanya kwa makusudi.
Yes.
Kwa kujua.
Perfect example. The State House government allocation right now is standing at almost 18.2 billion. Last year, the budgetary allocation for the creative economy was shrunk down from 14 billion to 12 billion. Okay? 14 billion to 12 billion. previously the government allocation for State House was at 13 billion. Right now it is standing at 17 billion. So unapunguza what the whole country is supposed to enjoy for creative economy from 14 to 13. Meanwhile, the budget for a State House peke yake moja is now standing at 17 billion. It is over by about 4 to 5 billion.
Yes.
Imagine that. And that is just State House. So a small number of people, let us call it 1,000 people, are enjoying 17 billion. Meanwhile, a country of 53 million people have to work within a budget of 12.7 billion. What does that tell you? Allocation for the deputy president right now is standing at 3.2 billion for this year. It's a supplementary budget ameongezewa. Supplementary budget ameongezewa because before it was at around 1.2 billion.
Yes.
So we are taking from like one hand and feeding to the other, and then what is happening is that we are literally starving the cow that is supposed to provide the milk. And yet tunasema we are supporting the creative economy. The creative economy does not need support. The creative economy needs space.
Space. So mimi swali langu na nitajibu nyote wawili na maneno ya daktari wa muziki hapa na mheshimu by the way. Na nawaheshimu nyote. Na hata nyinyi wawili.
As a bonus.
Tafadhali unajua mweza.
Ina swali unakuja kuchapa. Unaanza kwanza kukutetea. Endelea.
So daktari umesema kwamba serikali haiwaelewi. Na vile umeeleza ni kwamba ni kweli mtu akikaa huko nje anaona hamueleweki kama wasanii hiyo creative. Wewe umesema wanaichukulia kama entertainment. Na wewe unasema
infrastructure, it's an industry on its own.
Ni sehemu ambayo kwamba inajisimamia yenyewe. Lakini ukiangalia sasa, ili sijui mtalijibu vipi. Ukiangalia kuna State Department ya vijana na creative economy. Umeelewa? State Department ya vijana bado ni vijana. Hata kama uko millennial bado kijana.
True.
Ndugu yangu hapa Lu, mimi natumia hilo jina la katikati hata nimemake fun out of it before.
Nimekusikia. Kung Fu zitakupata hapo nje.
Sawa. But kuna hiyo creative economy. Hii serikali yenye tuko nayo. Hata tusirudi hapo nyuma. Creative economy ni State Department of its own. But umesema hawaelewi. How is it so?
Salim?
Yes.
Unaweza kuwa na familia kwa nyumba. Wewe ndio breadwinner. Utakuja kazini, utarudi nyumbani, utaambiwa tuko na bili ya hivi na hivi na hivi, utauliza nipatie. Uangalie useme nitalipa hii. Uko na kijana wako hapo. Na kijana wako anakuambia dadi, mimi niko na talanta ya kucheza mpira.
Ndio.
Na ningependa unisupport kwa kuninunulia viatu. Umwambie vizuri sana. Umwambie sawa, mimi nakusupport. Kwanza kule nje nakutaja sana. Kijana wangu shupavu, kijana wangu Messi na Ronaldo akiwekwa pamoja hawatoshi. Ushasema yote. Kijana kuja kupatie bili yake, akwambie ikiatu dadi ni hii hela hivi
14,000.
na unamwambia hii 14,000 haina shida, nitalipa. Mwaka wa kwanza, mwaka wa pili, anarudi tena, dadi zile viatu vipi? Unamwambia wajua bei ya tomato imepanda. Sasa vile bei ya tomato imepanda, wacha niongeze hii pesa ambayo inaingia kwa chakula na hii yako, hebu tafuta kiatu ndogo kidogo.
Ya bei ya chini.
14,000 kidogo sitaweza, lakini bado nitakusupport. Kijana anakuja na kuonesha viatu ya 9,000. Na unamwambia hapa sasa nitaweza. Alafu unakuja ukipanga bajeti yako bado haingiani. Lakini bado unamwambia kijana kuwa bado unamsupport. Bringing the cookies closer. This is the same story with the creative industry. Vile nimekwambia, serikali inatambua kuwa creative industry ipo na watakuja wataambia creative industry sawa, tumewasikia malalamishi, malilio nini, tupatie vitu nataka. na ndio maana nasema iko na historia yake, na pole nitakurudisha nyuma. Najua unataka kuongea serikali ya sasa.
Sawa, turudi nyuma. Kama ni mawe tunaweka kodi.
Serikali ya Rais Uhuru Kenyatta. Yes. Kulikuwa na mimi I'm not a politician, but there was a director of brand strategy. Anajulikana kama Thomas Kwaka, lakini popularly known as Big Ted. He's currently a diplomat to Los Angeles. Yes. Now, Big Ted organized creatives from Mombasa and Nairobi and put up a team. And why I'm saying that, I was part of the team. And we met more than 12 times. 12, I won't put the maximum 10 because the times we won't meet and others because of the closeness and all, but I remember 12 different times tulikaa kwa kikao na tukaongea various policies na tukasema hii tunataka ifanyike, tukiendelea tukaambiwa hapa kidogo serikali haiwezi fanya kwa sababu ya 1 2 3. Tukarekebisha and there was a document that was presented to the president by then. That document has not seen the light of day paka today. It is just online.
Why?
If you go online and look for the creative economy, what is it called? The document that was presented, that was around between 2015 to 2018. It exists. Lakini nothing has happened. Fast forward, let's take it to the current government.
Yes.
And President Ruto instructed. Now I'm going to use the coastal region.
Yes.
Ali instruct being in his party. Aka instruct the former senator of Mombasa, that is Sarai. Akamwambia waeke watu wa creative pamoja. And I think for me it was more of once bitten twice shy. Mimi sikujishughulisha, lakini kuna creatives walikuja pamoja na wakatengeneza document na wakasema tulitengeneza document nini, wakaambiwa ile ni ya kitambo. Kwa sababu tunataka kuwasaidia, anzeni tena.
Kaanza kujenga SGR huko.
Wakaboro vitu zingine zikaekwa kando. As we speak, it is the same story, different cast. Same thing, and that is what has been happening all around.
Maudhui ni yale waigizaji tofauti.
Umemention State Department ya Youth.
Yes.
Now the what it stands for is basically the youth is anything pertaining the adult government has been pushed down to the youth. So kuna department ya health, finance, education. So that's okay. I want to move to what you've talked about, the creative economy. Now the creative economy is a mention. And I will even put the most recent words. Juzi President alikuwa Kalash Awards.
Yes.
And during his speech, he mentioned that the government is... Sikuwa nomini, so sikupata fursa ya kufika.
Situpeleke pole pole.
Niliona watu wengi mpaka huku mtaani wenye najua.
I was proud of people like Juma Shibe walikuwa hapo, nilikuwa nasikia raha sana.
Yes.
But besides the point, he mentioned it. Now, unfortunately, I would like to say 3/4 of the things he mentioned kwa speech yake in relation to the creative industry have not been done.
Yes.
3/4.
3/4. Not even a half, not a quarter. 3/4.
Could you maybe just share some of them?
Let me start with number 1. He said that 30% of money coming in from advertising,
Yes.
for the government would go to the creative industry. Salim, have you ever seen anything that has been gazetted ama imeandikwa mahali kuwa kwa sababu hii pesa tulipata kama 1 million kutoka kwa advertising, tunataka kupatia creative industry? Hakuna kitu kama.
Ni sini juzi tu.
I would say on my part, na labda Shams atanisaidia hapa to translate, is we should never confuse movement for progress.
Kitu inafanyika imaanishi kwamba inafanyika.
Leo mnaweka mawe. Umerudia hiyo?
We should never confuse movement for progress. Sijui how to translate that into Kiswahili, but we should never confuse movement into progress. So kuna kitu kimoja kimefanyika last week. There's something that happened last week. The High Court of Kenya has stated that graffiti on matatu should be removed.
Yes. Yeah.
One of the things that we must understand is that graffiti on matatu culture is the most unique element that Kenya has in terms of art. You literally have moving art in motion.
Yes.
That art in motion right now, it has been declared illegal. Okay? It has been declared illegal. So ask yourself, when we talk about the creative industry, the reason we're calling it an industry is that an industry is a means of production. Production creates value. Therefore, if at all matatu industry wamesema there should be no graffiti on the matatu, the people who are painting that matatu, the artists, the people who are fabricating the way the matatu looks, the people who are making sure that when you get in there's an experience, there are seats, kuna TV screens. Matatu are wild. Kuna nyingine niliona screen iko kwa like the rear window. So wewe ukiwa nyuma as a hater unaona screen. Uko mbele. Unaona. But that should tell you everything that you need to know about what is happening. As of now, the capitation for universities and high schools has been reduced. And has been reduced by, I think, almost 17%. And the biggest levels that are affected are actually in the arts.
Yes.
The biggest levels that are affected are in the arts. Therefore, it tells you one thing. It tells you that despite us having this thing that is called, we have ICT, we have youth, we have the creative economy docket, there is a lot of movement, but there is no progress. That is very simple. If anything, there is regression. Because that matatu that imekuwa ikibeba watu in a certain way, kuna mtu ambaye ameipaint, after every 6 months, someone has to go back in and basically redo the colors and all of that, that person is going to be jobless.
Yes.
And what is the government doing? Wanatupatia boda boda. Okay? Wanatuambia you can be employed as a fundi kwa affordable. Nani ana kwao? Eh? Nani ana kwao? Who said I'm a fundi?
Recently, we had our president promising a grand prize for filmmakers who will be making films of up to 40 million, making films on affordable housing and share. You as the people in the creative industry, what do you have to say? Do you feel like you're limited to what you have to do in order to get funding? Or
why are you telling me as an artist, why are you telling me what to create? Why are you telling me,
but the opportunity unajua?
No, it's not an opportunity, it's a trap. Kuna tofauti. You cannot tell me
lakini wewe trap zako ni nyingi.
Si mimi.
No, Salim, leo hii, you see the way you're talking right now. Unakuja unaambiwa for us to add you salary of 10%, we want now uanze ukiingia vipi jamaa mko poa, and it's not you. It is not your style, it is not your brand. Would you change because of money?
Do you have
our expectation is this.
Yes.
Our expectation is this. An artist is a creator. A creator makes out of nothing.
Yes.
And that is why you have imagination. You think to yourself, okay, this is going to be blue, this is going to be pink, this is going to be azure, hizo colors zote. However, mtu amekuja amekuambia, we want you to make film. And the film is going to be on affordable housing. Okay? That is not a film. That is called advertisement. Okay? So Sema, we have allocated 40 million, 40 billion, 400 billion for advertisement. Don't tell me we have allocated 40 million for creatives to make a film about affordable. Mimi nataka kutengeneza film about shoes. I want to make a film about the journey of shoes. So in order for you to support me, you're commissioning me to be able to do what? To make that. And by omitting a name, I'll say all of that money that is being stated has actually been allocated to one person. Believe it or not, to one person who is the person has been making propaganda films for the government. Okay? So it is, why is the government at Kalasha? The president is at Kalasha because he is hoping to gain momentum by looking like he supports the arts. So again, tunarudi kwa ile statements. Movement, not progress.
Could I pick it up from there?
Yeah.
When you've talked about earlier, you talked about the 16 licenses that are needed to create a film.
Yes.
We also saw a situation earlier in the year where DJs have to pay 20k annually. There's also some time back when the content creation scene was on the boom, where they put a 5%
withholding tax
on vitu kama ma tripod. So here we see a government, in my perspective, a government that sees an opportunity, but the first thing they do, instead of understanding the landscape, is impose policies or
impose taxes. So the other thing you must also look at is any service that you're receiving that is digital right now, based off your creative space is being taxed. So you will pay 16% VAT, value added tax, on services such as your internet. You'll pay basically on services such as when you get basically any payment from monetization from YouTube, you're going to be paying a tax.
Yes.
And what that looks like, ideally, is that the government is not creating an opportunity. The government is looking at the opportunities that are existing and looking at how can I extract. So
usiseme extract, sema milking.
yes, okay. How can we? How can I milk this
Yes.
to make sure that it works? And that is why I think about a month ago, there's a list that came out and said this is how much content creators are making off, and that was from the government.
I was about to kuwauliza hiyo pia nayo mnataka kusema ni propaganda.
Apana, that is pure propaganda, because some of those people on that list, I know them. Now wajua vizuri sana, na the amount of money they're talking about there, those people have never seen that kind of money. They have never seen
you know
that
them.
I know them
Okay.
personally.
Hapo tutakuruhusu tutajie mmoja. Yupi ambaye unamjua?
I know.
I have the list with the figures.
Ndio hiyo sasa.
Sema
Tupatie
najua huyo.
list. Yeah.
Soma list
Sema
nikikwambia.
sisi tuna
So we have Eric Omondi at 57 million.
I know
Okay.
him. Eric Omondi is not making 57 million from that.
100% sure.
140% sure.
Hamake hiyo
We
57.
can call him right now and atakwambia he's not making that 57 million.
That would be cool.
Okay.
We have Ambare at 44 million.
Huyo pale siwezi nikamjua because my wife anasikiza.
I'm telling you.
Demo FB, Demo Facebook at 35 million.
Demwa Facebook, the manager is actually a stand-up comedian.
Au.
Yes. And
Oh.
she is not making that kind of money.
Yeah, she's the only person mwenye alitoka akasema hiyo hii.
Uongo.
Hiyo yeah, alitoka actually.
We also have Jmo Dessin at 25 million.
Huyo siwezi nikasema I know him. All the people I'm talking about I know personally. Yes.
Tom Daktari at 25 million.
No, Tom Daktari will tell you straight to your face he is not making that money.
Crazy
Okay, so-
Kenna 23.
Crazy Kena, like he will tell you he has used that kind of money to try and make less than that kind of money.
Njugush 20 million.
Njugusha atakwambia mwenyewe. He has not made that kind of money from that particular platform.
Okay, now hiyo list nafikiri kile ikienda tutambua hajawahi tengeneza.
Okay, so I'll say this.
Yes.
And I believe this is from all creatives.
Yes.
We are not here to point fingers.
Okay.
Sisi I think creatives are very solution oriented.
Yes.
Okay.
And the thing that a lot of the creatives want, they want the space to be able to create and earn from their creation. We're not asking for handouts. Your 400 million government inataka kupeana, don't give us that money. Reduce the number of licenses and red tape that are required for us to do what we love and to earn from that. Simple.
Period.
True. For me, what I would say, and unajua, it's not only the government at fault, because I wouldn't want to praise the creatives yet. Najua sisi pia tuko na shida zetu. Number one.
Next ilikuwa nije kwetu. Nyinyi mpiga mawe huku lakini huku.
No. Sisi we have glass police stations, bro. So number one, shida ya creatives is we only come together when there's a problem. Kukiwa na shida, my friend, we are the perfect organization. Lakini when everything is moving smoothly for your own, Lusa is making his million nini.
Hata kuja hapa.
Only reason watu wana complain kule anaona pesa yake inaingia. Sawa analipa hii 5% kwa e-teams inakatwa, lakini my things are good. I have no problem. So you see, that's number one problem. Creatives, we don't have unity. As much as you'll find the comedians will have their own association, the DJs, the actors and all, we only come together when there's a problem. Number one. Number two, industry, a creative industry. Unfortunately, sisi wenyewe, we have a sickness called gatekeeping.
Okay.
Yes.
Ugonjwa. Maradhi.
Gatekeeping. And unfortunately, gatekeeping is Lou will handle his... You know, at the end of the day, we have to bring up new people into the into the industry, you know, and the only way that will happen is I have to grow. There's no way Lenium is going to be a DJ for the next 60 years. Impossible, bro. Impossible. So I will have to bring up people, and hata mi ushanga, it's called a smart way. Bring up someone that they can still see if you can get money through them. You know, you are creating another network, it works well. Lakini problem ya sisi creatives is I have I'm making this money, nataka kukalia hii pesa mpaka ishe. Ikiisha, well, bygones be bygones.
Tunarudi tena hapa. Bila shaka kama unaendelea kusikiliza Swahili Pot FM kwenye 91.7 Mombasa, Kwale, Kilifi, Tana River, 91.9 Amu, 91.5 Taita Taveta pale. Lakini pia bana hatujasahau wewe ambao kwamba unatufuatilia popote pale ulipo katika sayari hii ya mgongo wa dunia kwenye www.swahilipotfm.co.ke. Mambo hapa ndani ya studio leo ni mwecheche.
Yes.
Kodi za kitaa zinafunguliwa. Mawe yanawekwa live bila changamoto. So wewe pia kama unafuatilia mazungumzo, una fursa ya kuweza kuuliza maswali yako. Malenga 001, bila shaka maswali yako tumeyaona hapo. Tutakuwa tunakuja kwako, lakini pia unaweza kupiga simu kwenye 0732917917. Mimi niite Barisa hapa la Bake, nitakuitika. Niko na Josh the curator, our very own creative guru, pia naye yuko hapa. Yani anatabasamu tu kila
leo nafurahi.
Lu akifungua mdomo anatabasamu. DJ ama daktari wa muziki akiongea anataka kusimama, anasema leo nimeokoka. Watetezi wa wanyonge wamekuja. Na Shamsa hapa, the queen herself, ndani ya okay, acha hiyo statement.
Mbona nakaba? Fungua moyo kabisa.
Hiyo nimekaba. Shamsa tuanze.
All right, so recently we saw Bien and Costa Ojwang and other artists perform after the Africa Forward Summit. But they received a lot of criticisms from both the fellow creators or creatives, one of them being very... But again, you ask yourself, it is our dream as Kenyans to support our creatives, and one way is to see them performing in big places, but it comes to a point where when they get to those stages, they receive a lot of criticism. They get bashed, like, why are you siding with the government, or why are you siding with, actually, some people even use mkoloni. What do you have to say? Because I feel like, aren't we limiting you guys, that we want you to grow, but we want you to grow to a certain level? So where is the problem, and how can we solve it to ensure that we don't have such instances?
Personally, I think there's two things that people must always understand. As a creative, you are not just an entertainer. You have a moral obligation for you to be able to represent the people who are your fans. Okay? And that's why unasikia wakati ingine watu wanasema, let's deplatform so and so. The reason is that you cannot be against something and feeding it. You cannot be saying, I think fossil fuels are bad, na una run a V8 engine that inakula diesel. Therefore, there's two things that people must understand. For you to reach the pinnacle whereby you're performing at a certain summit, it's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
However, for you to reach a certain point whereby the summit is deemed to represent regression, you are part of the problem. You automatically become part of the problem. Okay? For you to stand aside and let evil prosper means that you support evil. Unaona? If you stand on the side and do nothing, it means you are literally supporting what is happening. And that is why we say, for example, if you're not voting, you're technically voting for the wrong choice immediately. So in as much as tunaweza taka kusema ati mtu anataka perform kwa platform fulani, anataka kuperform kwa platform fulani, at the end of the days, you're standing on the shoulders of giants. And those giants are the people who put you up there. Otherwise, you'd not have been able to do that. And we forget one thing that I think Daktari wa Mziki amesema is, whenever we climb up the ladder, tunafaa kuwainua wenzetu wenye wako nyuma. But what we mostly do as artists is you climb up the ladder and you kick the rung that you stepped on. True. So hakuna mtu anaweza akakufata. That criticism is important. Wacha watusikize.
Okay. Yeah. That criticism is important.
I'm trying to look for his response, but it's something along the lines of, you can never make change when you're not in the room. And what do you think about that?
Okay, so let's take a good example. You eat at a restaurant and you have food poisoning. So you're going to say you can never make change if you're not in the room. Whereby pia wewe sasa utaingia jikoni.
You know, if you didn't eat the food, you wouldn't know it had a problem.
Sasa pia wewe utaingia jikoni kwa sababu unasema sasa kwa vile hapa kuna food poisoning, wacha pia mimi niingie jikoni. No.
I think I found his response. He says, I can sit at a table with global leaders and still remain fully African, fully critical, and fully myself. Presence is not submission.
presence is not submission, definitely, and I agree with that, and he has every right to be at any space that he wants to be at, but then that comes at a price. If you sit at that table, you also open the door for us to criticize you for sitting at that table. Yes.
So what I'm hearing is, as creatives, what would have been the right response for him to do? Because again, you want representation.
Yes.
Him being there is a representation
Yes.
of the creatives.
Yeah.
But again, him being there also is a problem on the ground.
Let him be there and let him speak to our needs. We're not saying it's bad for him to be there. That is a platform that allows us to address certain issues. Let him call them out when he is on that platform, because then he can say it to their faces.
What validation would the people want to see to be sure that that is happening?
It's very simple. What are you saying when you're on that platform? When you're given a platform and a voice, your duty is to be able to project and amplify the voices of those who are not on that platform.
As an artist, expression is not just through words or through taking videos. It's
Yes.
also through artistic expression.
Yes.
And I think for Bian was him personalizing his performance fit to Patrice Lumumba. Maybe that would have been his expression.
Okay.
Do we take it?
I don't think so, because I don't think at any point in time Patrice was like, repeat. No.
Eric is a funny man.
Umesema Lumumba hayo hayakuwa mambo yake.
Hapana.
Alisimama kwamba hii
Yes.
ndio nataka na hii lazima ifanyike. Anyway, haya twende huko.
But okay, from where I'm sitting, I feel like the creative industry has a lot of double standards to a point that when somebody makes it to that level, the people that are here watching him, they go ahead and bash him. At the same time, when you ako hapa chini, akipatiwa that opportunity, they go ahead and do the same thing. So is it something that needs to be worked on? Because I feel like right now there's a lot of noise hapa chini. But any creative that would have been given an opportunity, they would have looked at it as work. Mimi nimeenda pale kupiga kazi, niende niimbe nilipwe. No one is at a position to be like, you know what? People are not siding with the, Africa Forward Summit.
Yeah.
I won't go. But why is it that you guys carry a lot of double standards when it comes to looking at someone that has made it up there?
I'll give you an example. There's an artist called Luya Heat. And Luya Heat has been called on many times to perform at state functions and government, and he has said no. Okay? When your greed surpasses your morality, you have sold your soul. As simple as that. When your greed surpasses your morality, you have sold your soul. So it's not double standards. What is guiding us? What is that one thing that cannot be bought with money? Because at the end of the day, you're saying, I want a platform, I want to be able to do this. I do not think that some of these artists require that. They have performed in front of politicians, world leaders that also represent morality in one way or the other. Sauti Sol were the same people who are walking hand in hand with President Obama. Okay? So you cannot tell me there is such a hunger for these people to perform for Emmanuel Macron while they have performed for all these world leaders. They performed for like the Queen. They performed for all these people. So mi nasema hivi, I am not passing any judgment. And Bien is actually a friend and everything. But these are tough conversations that we even have, and we call them out when we're sitting together.
Okay.
Yes.
Daktari.
Yeah.
Napata mashaka sasa.
Mbona?
Wakisema supporting the creative economy.
Yes.
Kuunga mkono uchumi bunifu huu. Sana inabidi sasa nitafutie ufafanuzi na nyinyi kwa sababu mko hapa, na by the way kudos, mmeenda shule, mmesoma, mmekuwa kwa game for long. Maneno yenu yakitoka mtu anaanza kupata mtazamo tofauti. Kumbe hii ingefanywa hivi ingekuwa hivi, na hii ingefanywa hivi hii ingetokea hapa. So unaona kuna mashimo ambayo kwamba nyinyi wenyewe pia hamyashughulikii. Akili mnazo, busara mnazo, hekima mnazo, lakini ni kwamba either mmezikalia au hamjapata fursa ya kusema. Daktari wewe, mimi tangu tunajuana miaka ya nyuma huko, si yale maneno unayosema hapa si yale ambayo mimi nakujua nayo. Leo unazungumza kikubwa, kihekima, kibusara. Lakini maneno uko nayo, ndio umekaa kwenye vikao, mmetengeneza ripoti hazijatoka, lakini mmefanya nini? Supporting creative economy ni nini? Sasa inabidi tujue, manake kulingana na Shamsa, yule ameenda ameperform, lakini amekaa pale, wale jamaa wanatusakama. Wewe kwa nini ukwenda pale, wewe umeenda kusema repete pete pete? Kwa hivyo kulikuwa kunatekana kusemwe kitu chengine ambacho wale jamaa wako pale wajue kwamba mimi nimekuja hapa kuperform, ndio mnanilipa, lakini uchungu wangu na wale wenzangu ambao wako nyuma ni huu. Hii supporting creative economy. Sasa naomba mnipatie ufafanuzi pia mimi nielewe ni nini haswa.
Again,
Yes.
Vile tulikuwa tumesema awali, the creative industry is huge.
Yes.
It is not defined by one particular genre. Unfortunately, na nitakwambia, wacha nitumie example moja ya kikabila kidogo.
Okay.
Mijikenda iko na
9.
exactly.
Yeah.
Tribes ni 9.
Yes.
Lakini the most popular tribe ni
Giriama.
Wagiriama. Thank you very much. But unfortunately utapata Wachoni are the most learned than Wagiriama. True or false?
Hapo tick. Siwezi kataa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you will find the Giriamas are louder, meaning policies zao or whatever they stand for, whether right or wrong, zitaskika zaidi kuliko
za wasomi Wachoni.
Thank you very much. So it's the same thing with the creative industry. Industry, vile tumesema watu wamesoma nini, lakini at the end of the day, the people who are the loudest are the musicians. So policies ambazo zitachukuliwa za kwanza ni za waimbaji. Alright? So mtu anasahau, kuna mtu anashona Akamba handicraft. Let me use examples tu za hapa nyumbani. Akamba handicraft pale Changamu. Yes. Ama tuende pale Bombolulu workshop. Pale wale squeezy niliambiwa squeezy wapendi kuitwa physically
ni
PWD.
Hawapendi. People living with
disability.
Yes. Hawapendi hiyo term squeeze. So sitaki kutumia nisije nikakera kitu ambaye thank you.
Different able.
Hiyo ndo anapenda squeeze.
Our different abled friends. Thank you.
Wanaoishi na uwezo maalum.
Yes. So our different abled friends pale Bombolulu have, and by the way nilipata kufika pale, wako na talanta kubwa sana, na ukipata historia yao, vitu walikuwa natengeneza hata ziuzi huku Kenya. Zinauzwa Uingereza, Uturuki, labda saa zingine Marekani. So that means this economy is huge, not only on a loud scale, lakini in terms of worth, in terms of money making, in terms of network. So when you're talking about that economy, ndo maana nimetumia uweze kuelewa economy ni kubwa.
Yes.
So mtu asifikirie supporting creative economy, BN amefanya hivi, watu wamekosana, watu nafikiri hawasupportiani. It is nothing about that.
Okay.
Supporting the creative economy basically is putting the economy number one. Issues zao zinapewa kipao cha mbele. Number one.
Yes.
How are we using this economy to make sure that the country, not person, not Salim, not Shamsa, not Lou, not Lenium, not Josh.
Yes.
Kenya is benefiting. For instance, COVID ilitugonga 2020.
Yes.
Tourists walipungua kuja Kenya. True. We said we'll work on local tourism. Unfortunately, the virus did not allow us to come together. Yeah. So that means there was a lot of movement disorders na vitu kaizo. The most affected industry was the tourism department.
Yes.
So what happened after COVID was lifted? The government started pushing ways so that the tourism department could get back to its feet. Kufanya nini? Anza kupopularize Kenya. Inaitwa nini? Tembea Kenya, Magical Kenya. Those things were really pushed not only in Kenya, outside. These were adverts that were running. The government paid adverts on CNN, on BBC, on VOA, so that people can now see, oh, COVID did not hit these guys, and oh, Kenya is not a place where people sleep in trees. You know, you have these wonderful luxurious hotels, you have events, you have things to do. Tourism department, and people started coming in. Ikafika point paka, I think sometime last year December, Mombasa was really full. Watu wameanza kwenda Diani, watu wanaingia Malindi. Look at Nairobi now. Nairobi is no longer a destination spot. Watu wanaenda Naivasha. Who would think Naivasha, Nakuru would be a hit spot? You see, so that's what I'm talking about. That is tourism department. What is the government doing with the creative department?
Now that's a problem. Sasa nimekuelewa.
I think for me, the thing, and I think at Punchline we always say this, we don't want supporters, we want believers.
Oh.
We don't want supporters. If you're listening to this and you're out there and you support Punchline Comedy Club Nairobi, please stop. We don't want supporters, we want believers. You know why? Support ni daktari wa muziki hapa anacheza mahali fulani. Let me go support him. It means, yani, I don't enjoy what he's doing. Let me go help him. And help can be withdrawn because help is conditional. A believer is someone who's a convert. Okay? There are people if you're religious, if you're in here, you're religious in one way or the other. Yes. Unapitia shida, but that strengthens your belief in your faith. Okay? So the issue of supporting the creative economy, that word support X.
Yeah.
Believe, have
culture,
faith.
Culture.
Have faith in the creative economy, and your faith is rewarded. That means that you'll be with us in the good times and the bad times. Si atutakuwa na sisi when things are good, and that is why family is very dangerous. Because saivi, as a stand-up comedian, my wife will come and support me, ama my girlfriend will support me. When I make it, ndo unasikianga mtu anaanza kusema huyu jamaa sisi ndo tumemweka pale. So it is me that you are supporting. You do not believe in my craft. So you'll come to a stand-up comedy show to support me, not because you like comedy and you like laughing. You're coming to support. Yani unisaidie. We do not want supporters, we want believers. That's what the creative economy needs.
Okay, we do not want supporters. We want believers.
We want believers.
Nyinyi mtakuwa watiifu. Kinachotakikana ni kutii. Kwamba bwana Lu leo akona gig yake, zinaitwa gig, lugha ya kina Josh na Shamsa, gig. Akona gig yake. Je, gig unakuja kwa sababu unamuonea huruma ama unakuja kwa sababu unamwamini? Tumeelewana hapa? Na sehemu kubwa ya watu, nyinyi mnaonea watu huruma. Si kwamba mnapenda.
Mna support.
Na mimi huwa siendi kwa sababu labda basi sijabelieve. Because I don't go.
Si supporter na wewe si believe.
Si mpaka wan convince ni amini. They have to convert.
Yeye ni fan.
At least ako open.
Mimi they know me. Mimi
the better.
Kushawishika.
So ukinishawishi na Josh can attest. Ukinishawishi you'll see me.
Yes.
Nitaapia.
And that's why we use, like, sisi tunatumia neno inaitwa proselytization.
Hiyo ni mpya.
Word of the day.
Tafadhali.
Proselytization is conversion. Ile unawabatiza.
Ungesema tu basi kubatiza.
Hapana, unaona hiyo imesimamisha kila kitu. As a trophy husband.
Unakuwa pielolu mumba ghafla.
Hapana, as a trophy husband unafaa kutumia maneno ya tisha mtu. Anasema, "Hey, how was the proselytization today?" Anasema, huyu nitamweka.
Ndio lugha ya Jehovah Witness.
Ndio sasa.
Okay, bwana, kwenye 0732917917 wako hapa. Hawa leo mimi nawaita wakali wa hizi kazi. Leo kama ni mawe imewekwa. Weka kama kitaribuka huko mbele, tushasema. Okay,
just to add, vile amesema story ya supporting na believing.
Yes.
Now, creatives tungekuwa smart. The way we would just like religion, whether ni Islam ama Ukristo,
yes.
We have a point to do, and that is to go out and make sure neno ambayo imeandikwa either kwa Biblia ama kwa Quran mtu yajua.
Proselytization.
So if creatives, we wanted our policies to go through, I would advise, and if this was a smart way, it would work well. Lobby your policies with policy makers up there. For instance, tafuta, hata usiende sijui governor, senator, president, tafuta MPs. MPs na MCAs. These small people make a lot of noise na wao ndo wako na power. Who is the people? Remember, nani alitoa Rigathi out of power?
Ni hawa jamaa.
MPs,
Ni hawa 349.
Thank you. So that means these people have a lot of power. What if creatives or kusanya a few of those MPs wambie, this is what we do. Don't support us. Believe in what we do, in the sense that these people will go somewhere and say these creatives have 1, 2, 3. This is what they do. Every time unataka, for instance, I'll tell you a good example. Kuna mama pale nje anakaa Changamwe, anatengeneza kiondoo. Lakini sahii ameambiwa yeye kulipwa lazima atumie invoice e-teams. Mama mwenyewe ako na mulika mwizi, tuanze hapo. So that means lazima ataenda mahali either atafute Android ama apate mtu ambaye atamtengezea e-teams kwa laptop. Kumbuka bado serikali inataka kukukula 5% withholding tax. Huyu mama hii kiondoo ambaye anatengeneza utapata anasomesha watoto 3 shuleni, na moja labda ndo sahi ameingia senior school, that is grade 10 to 12.
Yes.
Where you've been told, if you watch a lot of TikTok videos, kuna mama anakuambia pale school fees tayari eka 53,000 kando, bado hujafikiria boardings facility nini. So imagine this is the money that you are expecting this same mama kulipa, na umemkazia on so many aspects, including umepandisha taxes, umepandisha licenses, umepandisha inflation has gone up. Kumbuka mafuta ikipanda fare inapanda. Fare ikipanda, yani kuna vitu exactly. So this same creative is getting and wanaumia. So what if these creatives would come together, hold a few MPs, waambie this is the issues we are going through, these guys pass that policy up there.
Yes. Okay, safi. Saa 3:30 bwana imefika tena. Naomba tuende huku tupate tone la sport. Alafu kuna voice notes ziko hapa, kuna pongezi ziko hapa, kuna maswali hapa yametoka Dar es Salaam. DJ Lenium umesalimiwa, wewe umepewa hongera. So ya vitu vinakuja. Nianze hapa. Kuna ujumbe Malenga huyu 001 anasema good morning team breakfast. Yes. Mjadala mzuri sana. Ameanzia hapo. Simon nimwambia pongezi zinakuja. Alafu anasema Swahili Pot FM imeanzisha hili gumzo. Baraza Media Lab Mombasa tuko tayari kuliendeleza litakapoishia. Yani huu hapa yako yani hapa ikiisha haijaisha bado. Umesikia hiyo sambambizo. Lazima wasanii waeleweshwe, wachanuliwe, waelekezwe ili nao kama vyoo vya jamii wafikishie jamii. Yeye amesema.
Shukran sana Malenga.
Amesema hivyo. I love that. Alafu wacha nafikiri kila mtu amevaa masikizio yake. Tusikie hii.
Morning Breakfast Club, Charles hapa kutoka Bamburi. DJ Lenium is part of the creative board of Mombasa that was created by the former minister Ken Ambani, together with Ali Manzu and a couple of more other creatives. What has he done to build that space?
Daktari.
Takulima kama
sasa
mawe zimeanza. Yes, Charles, what you're saying is actually true. I'm part of a 9-person team that was chosen by the governor to basically align the creative industry in Mombasa County. Okay. So why I'm choosing my words is I signed an NDA. So an NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. So there are things I can say and there are things I cannot. So please allow me on that bit, number one. Number two is based on the question he has asked, what am I doing as DJ Lenium? I think I can say that. Number one, I've really empowered a lot of people in my industry. Now, talking as a DJ, yes. I've empowered several, and in the last 6 years, I have decided to empower more of the girl child, because most of the times unapata mwanaume atatafuta mwanaume. Mwanaume will bring up, and you find the girl child, unfortunately, kuna hii phenomena kuwa mwanamke akishakuwa popular atashika mimba, ama mwanamke akiwa popular ataolewa, atapata bwana ambaye atamwambia sasa kaa nyumbani. And unfortunately times have changed. Not everyone is the same. I work with the Bohora community, where for the last 4 years I have been training women from Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, India, and it's just women, not men, where there's this phenomenon in the Bohora community, women were secluded. Yes. And now they're being allowed to go out, waweze kufanya kazi kama uko na talanta ya upishi, talanta ya kufundisha, ya kufanya biashara, lakini sasa kwa sababu haukupata hiyo fursa ya kusomea. So now that is where I come in, teaching them on event management, coming up with all that. We include finances kidogo, how to manage your accounts and all. Yes. So besides that point, based on that, niliona, why not help the female side of the creative industry? Okay. And my strong suit, again, is being a DJ, because that's where I started from. So I get to notice good talent, especially on the female side. I push you. And istaki onekane, wajua pia kuna ile inaonekana Lenium ni mkongwe, alafu anapata wasichana labda na watumia kufanya kitu kingine.
Hiyo nayo ilikuwa nitakuuliza. So tunajuana hii mtaa.
So ku avoid chuchu kama hizo, yes. I align you with different DJ schools where you can go and learn na unafundishwa, and several academies depending mali uko. Kama kuna academy na kusukumia uko, depending on what you have. Same thing, I started same question on Charles' question.
Yes.
I started a platform called Celebrity Thursday. Okay. Celebrity Thursday basically is a platform ya wasanii wapate fursa ya kulaunch mziki wao. So because most of the times you find I am not a Masauti, I am not a Susumila, I am not a Chikuze, you know. Yeah. So mimi ni yule msee nikija pale Swahili Pot FM niseme mimi ni Shamsa, niko na ngoma mpya, watauliza Shamsa nani?
Kitu cha kwanza hata sichezi. Shamsa, who is Shamsa?
You see.
Kwanza hata hilo jina halikai kisanii.
So ku avoid vitu kama hizo, Shamsa anaweza nitafuta, niambie Lenium niko na ngoma yangu, nisikize, nimwambie kwanza this song is good, labda urekebishe hapa na pale, after hapo tunai-launch. And once we've launched it, mimi nachukua fursa ya kusukuma mziki. So that at least by the time Salim ukipata imetoka kwa Lenium, hii ngoma lazima ni kitu ya maana. So you already give it that chance. And that's what I've been doing with the music and sending it to DJs. And you find a lot of nowadays, especially new artists wanaanza kutokea. So sina uwezo wa kuwa kila mahali, I would say that, but ile uwezo kidogo naweza fanya naitumia na nasukuma.
Now sasa hiyo ni at a personal capacity.
Yes.
Lile swali la pale la account, najua umesema kuna vipengee hapo vinakuzuia wewe kuongea. Lile jambo limefikia wapi? Manake ni kitambo.
Hiyo ni 2023. Mulifanya dinner fulani pale Royal Court kule juu. Nilikuwa hapo.
Tunafukua makaburi.
Nilikuwa walitulisha vizuri
pesa za county.
I think what I can reveal is as a creative task force,
yes.
We have done our part. Tumeenda kwa ground because tulisema hatutaki kuwa a boardroom team. Watu wa kukaa chini na kuandika karatasi na kupeana. So we went out, tukafanya research on from all 6 sub-counties, that is Likoni, Mvita, Changamwe, Jomvu, Nyali na Kisauni. Tukazunguka, tukaenda kwa kila hub mali kuna creatives, not only hubs but also organizations that deal with creatives. And not creatives wale ambao watu wamezoea. Wasanii, waimbaji, wachekeshaji, waigizaji, hata pia wale ambao wanashona, wale ambao models who deal with fashion, every inch of the industry. Na tukaiweka pamoja, tukapata problems they go through, the challenges, what they do, what they need, tukaziweka zote kwa document. Now that document has been presented to the governor. So we are now just awaiting the
atakachosema.
Yes.
Okay. Hii ni kutoka Masaki. TZ. Anasema Lu, unasema vitu vikubwa sana kwa ukubwa. Yeye amekuita DJ Lenium. So DJ Lenium. Na nimekufuatilia tangu zamani.
Shukran sana.
But swali langu linakuja kwenu nyote kwamba kwa nini kama watu ambao kwamba mnapigania haki za anasema uchumi bunifu, mbona hamkai pamoja hizo makundi yote hayo, DJs huku, stand-up comedy hapa, wanamziki huku, kila mmoja ana pote lake. Pote ni mafungu.
Asante.
Mafungu.
Life translation.
Lule umerudi shule.
Nimerudi shule. Niko na notebook hapa. Pote.
Pote yani kama vile mafungu ya tomato, fungu la viazi, fungu la mahindi hivyo. So kila mtu ana pote lake, na huyu huku anasema huyu anavutia kwake na yule mwingine anavuta kule, imekuwa kama ngoma. Kila mwamba ngoma uvutia kwake. Mbona hamna sauti moja katika kuimarisha uchumi bunufi? Yes.
I think part of the challenge that is there is that we are at different levels. We are at very different levels of growth. So when you think about it, music is a very old form of entertainment, and it's been there. But ukifikiria vizuri, kitu kama stand-up comedy, across the world, it is almost 78 years old at the moment. However, in Kenya, tukiangalia the type of stand-up comedy we are talking about, you can say it is only 11 years old. Okay? So, in any case...
That's stand-up comedy on a professional
level.
Yes.
It's 11 years old.
Wait, you can't talk about like guys like Churchill as stand-up?
It is stand-up comedy, but it was not standardized to that point.
Okay.
So the standardization of stand-up comedy...
What do you mean?
By standardization, we mean...
Tunaingia kwa nitty-gritty.
Yes. So when we say standardization, we mean what quality, caliber, and level can compete on an international space. Ukiangalia, as far back as the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, we had Kenyan musicians who would live here, go perform in different places.
True.
Tukiangalia, up until 2011, 2013, 2014, you could not have an artist who'd live here and go perform, for example, in the US, who's saying, I'm touring for a stand-up comedy gig. So we're talking about that level of professionalism. So what I mean is this. Think about it. Ukiamka asubuhi, ufungulie radio, you're listening to music. When you're sad, there's a type of music that goes with that. When you're happy, when you're angry, when you're broken up.
Kama huyu ni wa J Melody.
Unaona sasa.
Na Mario.
And wa jirani.
So
jirani.
With that, it means that there is a soundtrack to your life every single day, and that is music. However, we associate something like stand-up comedy with laughter. Okay? So happiness.
Yes.
So when you're sad, ama ume break up na dem yako, you're not going to be like, let me watch this show ni cheke, because it is speaking straight to my soul. Therefore, it's a great idea for us to come together. But we are at different levels of progression. So right now, stand-up comedy is an 11-year-old. So you think about it, is music is 100 years old. Kile chakula unapatia mtoto wa 11 months, hauwezi ukapatia mtoto ambaye ako 3 years. Na hauwezi ukapatia mtoto mwenye anaenda is just about to turn 18. So the interest that we have in terms of where we want the progression to be are at different levels. So the needs that DJ hapa ako nazo ni tofauti sana na the needs that I have. So for instance, a stand-up comedy stage has to be small, has to be compact. Ideally, the ceilings are very low. The mood lighting is very different. And even the microphone that you're using is not like speakers. Kuna mali unafanya stand-up comedy, the speakers are made for music. They are not made for vocals. And even when we're talking about vocals, we are talking about speech, not vocals. No. So the needs that we have are very different. And therefore, at the moment, part of the reason we cannot come together and say we are speaking in one voice is our needs are very, very different. Unaona, ukiangalia, sa hivi ukitoka hapa, there are so many DJ academies that are across the country. But how many stand-up comedy workshops, academies exist? In total right now in Kenya, I can confidently say for stand-up comedians, for example, for female stand-up comedians, we have less than 40.
Umefika for female
40.
Less than 40 stand-up comedians who are female.
Wow.
This is across Kenya. So you think about it. Zinafaa kuwa
Mimi naona hizo they are more than enough.
Ona ni nyingi.
So that
tena amesema za female.
That's not even one per county. It means we have 2 counties that need some. Okay?
But see, jamani.
So yale mahitaji tuko nayo, they are on very different levels. And what would happen is that for now, DJ hapa ye anapigania nini? Anapigania githeri, anapigania miwa. But for mimi hapa, I don't even have the teeth, so mi nataka uji. Nataka uji. So it's very difficult for us. We all want food, but the type of food that we want is very different. So that is something to consider.
From what I'm understanding, is like the creative industry has so many industries inside it that you don't have one fix all solution. You have to customize solutions.
You have to customize. I can ask each and every person in this room right now, what is the standard price of a movie ticket? Mtajua.
Yes.
What is the standard price of a music concert? Mtajua. If you ask people in this room right now, what is the stand-up ticket price? We'll all have different answers.
$50.
$15.
Kuko na 1,500, kuko na 800, kuko na 400, kuna 200. There's all of this. And therefore, it means that we are at that level whereby we are creating the rules as we go. Like, for instance, as stand-up, as Punch and Comedy Club, what we are doing right now is that we have created a curriculum for people who are getting into stand-up comedy. Because that curriculum has never existed.
Mi nikija kwa show yako.
Yes.
Show yako na the club itself. Pengine mmeka. I believe you guys are having a show?
We are having a show, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ni how much?
Yes. So, for instance, for us, a show is 1,500 Kenya shillings.
1,000?
1,500 Kenya shillings.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Sawa. Kuna mtu anaswali because sasa unajua tumeweka mawe sana. Sasa nataka hayo mawe tujenge ukuta. Tunatafuta na suluhu. Yani kwa haraka sana. Shamsa, una swali ambalo la kuweka mawe? Hauna la kuweka mawe. Wewe una la kuweka mawe. Na mimi
la kujenga. La kujenga.
Oh, so unaanza kuweka simiti.
Mimi na foundation. My question goes back to artists in relation to the government, because I mean that's the main basis of our discussion. We have figured out that there are certain ways of engaging with the government that is not acceptable to us.
True.
What is the right direction to take when you want to champion for change, when interacting with the government, when interacting with the people? How should we ideally go about this?
My answer is very simple. We're looking at things that are baked into legislation and not based on individuals and their whims. What do I mean? Kama Mbavu Destroyer na Majembe are having a boxing fight, we should not have the president pledging 1 million Kenya shillings to so and so. There needs to be a boxing commission that is assigned a certain budget that then can cater for that. So what we are saying is we are looking at what the DJ said here is the infrastructural and governing systems that will enable us to work. Because you look at it, some people are in the boxing field and they don't have health insurance. Okay? We look at something like, for example, mental health in the entertainment industry. A lot of us make things that make people happy, but ourselves, we are very sad.
Yes.
So ideally, the way to engage with the government, and that's why I said we're not looking for handouts, we're looking for systems and structures that will allow us to create. It's as simple as that. Hakuna msanii anatafuta handout.
Are you sure about that?
Hakuna msanii anatafuta. Any person who's a true artist is not looking for a handout. There's nothing. Here's something that we have learned recently, is that a lot of our handout culture is imported. Because as Africans, we are very proud people.
Oh.
As Africans, we're very proud people. There are people who would sooner starve than beg for food. You know that? There are people who... All of us here, when we were growing up, your mother would tell you, ukienda kwa jirani, usikule huko.
Amenipiga.
Why? We do not want to look... That dignity, it goes away. There's a humiliation that comes with handouts. My father used to say, what is earned can never be taken away. But what is given will embarrass you at any point in time. Sasa hivi tumepewa suti, tunakutana kwa harusi, mwenye suti anaanza kusema, imekutoa poa, hata mimi nikivaa inakuaga hivyo, unajua nilinunua domo. What are we doing? So a system that will allow us to buy our own suit is better than you giving us a suit every day or giving us a shirt and then we don't have shoes.
Okay. So, daktari.
Yes.
mawe tumerusha. Na unaambiwa mti wenye matunda ndio ambao huwa unapura
sana
mawe. So mawe tumerusha yameshajikusanya. Tunajengaje ukuta ambao utakuwa madhubuti, ambao utatuwezesha sote tuwe na ile, umesema ulihitaji ile yenye huko ni 1800, hapa ni 400.
Standardization.
No. The
word of the day.
No. Hapana, the place yenye tunaka 440 capacity.
Auditorium.
Yes. Sasa tujenge auditorium ya 1500 kutumia haya mawe yenye tumeweka mawe kwa kweli. So smiti, maji, tunatafuta suluhu.
I think creatives should understand that at the end of the day, give or take, government will always be there.
Okay.
So it's how you work with them. Wanaweza ni kama mzazi. Ushaipigwa na mzazi wako paka ukaanza kujiuliza maswali. Unauliza, "Huu ni mzazi wangu kweli?"
Mzee Saidi nishaimwambia maneno huyo, hata na sasa hiyo asikiza na nishamwambia
Lakini at the end of the day si bado ni mzazi wako.
Paka leo.
Na ndio hivyo.
Yeah.
So creatives should understand that the government will always be there. Yes, once in a while utawapura mawe. Yes, once in a while mutakosana, lakini lazima mufanye kazi pamoja. How? Number one, as I mentioned before, let's lobby our things with their people. Kuna MP yuko pale. Mimi ni mkazi wa Shanzu.
Wako Kisauni.
Mimi ni Kisauni.
Bedzimba. Hiyo nimeielewa. Hiyo lugha yako mimi na wewe tushaelewana.
So nataka policies zangu zikuwe pushed.
Yes.
So najua nikienda pale kwa governor sitasikizwa. Why not nitumie Alan 1GB pale kama MCA wako
Patrick Mbele. Ndio MCA wako.
Alan 1GB, Alan Katana.
Wa Shanzu kabisa.
Yes. Nianze na yeye. Nikishamuingiza box, nijaribu kuongea na sasa Rashid Bedzimba.
Yes.
After hapo kusanya, kama utakusanya MPs 2 3 wakikubaliana na nyinyi, ni rahisi sana wao kupush. So number 1, lobby MPs to push your policies. Number 1. Number 2, find ways mahali mnaweza jiingiza kwa county boards. Kuna hizi public participations which happen like every time. So in these public participations, which is a government rule, nothing can be passed unless waende kwa ground kwanza. So hapo unaweza patiana kama ni idea uko nayo ama policy unataka isukumwe.
Watazifanya hizo. Mtasema maoni yenu, lakini wao wana maoni yao.
Sikatai,
yes.
Lakini utakuwa umefanya kitu kuliko kukaa nyumbani
Kuseme
na kuingia
hawatafanya.
online na kusema sisi kama wa creative tunafanya nini, we end up tunasema nini, serikali saidia, ambaye
serikali haisaidii.
Exactly. So you would rather uingie pale na upush. So once kuna mtu atakusikiza pale, that is the person to go with. Another thing, yes, we have to pay. Hii ni kitu by the inevitable. Kulikuwa na time tulikuwa sisi wale tunangoja June ikifika tunaambiwa make sure you have passed your taxes, you have paid your taxes nini. Watu walikuwa wale wa nil return. Nil return. Siku hizi hakuna nil return tena. Hiyo story ya nil return imeisha. So other countries have been doing it by the, ni vile tu sisi tumechelewa, lakini it's inevitable. So Kenyans, we need to understand that yes, unafanya kazi, lazima utataksiwa. That's there. Let's not argue.
Tulipe kodi.
Argument should be the percentage that you're supposed to pay. But otherwise kulipa, lazima tutalipa. Ushuru.
Kulipa ushuru ni kujitegemea.
Yeah. So what I would put it, if I was in the government, mimi ningepeana incentive in regards to paying your taxes. Like kama wewe ni creative, ukilipa taxes before this time, we give you a certain discount or waiver. Angalia watu wa kulipa land rates, si wanafanyiwa hivyo.
Hao nao wanaangukiaga.
Kuwa kuna waivers zinafanywa. Kwa nini msifanye hivyo? And you see, once you tell me you're going to give me a waiver, acha nikwambie Wakenya tunapenda vitu vya bure. So the minute you tell me nitafanya hivi na kuna discount nitapata ama kuna kitu nitapata bure, nitasukuma nifanye. So those incentives will work, and that is the only way that relationship will work. Otherwise tukikaa hivi tukiendelea kulia, hii story tutasema, watoto wetu watasema the same story na watoto wao.
Okay. Lu, yes. I think tunamaliza because hata dakika hazipo na hakuna tena maswali. Now we are winding up. Yes. So Lu, na wewe tupatie kauli yako before nirudi kwake anipatie kauli yake ya mwisho tufunge.
I think the most important thing for us to understand is no one is coming to save us. As creatives, sisi wenyewe lazima pia we need to put things into perspective and have the momentum where we can move ourselves to different directions. That means that for instance nikitoka hapa na sije network hapa na daktari wa muziki, that is a problem. Because it means that when we want to coordinate things, we can get there. I believe the way that Pan-Africanism is going to work, and I believe the way that progression is going to work, is through business. If we create a system that is sustainable, if we create a system that is organic, then it becomes easier for us to be able to move our agenda. Because if at all the music industry is saying the same thing that the comedy industry is saying to the same MCA, at a certain point in time, lazima ataskiza. So ideally, I believe that no one is coming to save us, and I love that as a country and as the young people who are here, we are always finding means to make things work. We are always finding means. There's no lack of innovation, there's no lack of talent here. So the idea is we must be able now to translate that into actionable, progressive equations that then can give us the solutions that we require. So sisi wenyewe ndo tuko na shida, but sisi pia wenyewe ndo tuko na hizo solution.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to speak to Lu amesema everything psychorudia. I want to speak to millennial creatives, because we are the most difficult bunch of creatives to deal with. Why I say that is because millennials do not like change. Millennials do not like change. Millennials are those people who will tell you maze mimi nilitembea mpaka shuleni. So kwa nini amwezi pia mufanye hivyo hivyo? You know, they've refused to change. And a good example Salim takupatia, wasanii ambao walikuwa wamebobea bado wako kwa industry lakini wana struggle kwa sababu hawataki kubadilika na mtindo.
Wataji.
muda itakubali. So wamekataa kubadilika na mtindo.
Yes.
I would tell people I've been in the industry for more than 15 years. And if I was still going to stick to my old ways, singekuwa napata gig sai. But because I have agreed to change and I have moved in with the change, that is why it's working out for me. So if you're a millennial creative, whichever industry, now this one is general kila mali, accept change, let's move with change, and let change work for you.
All right. Okay. Lu?
Yeah. I think one of the things that we must also understand is that our adaptability, vinye DJ amesema hapa, is very, very important. And also, let us my parting shot would be this. Go out and support the arts if you're listening. Go to a comedy show, go watch a play, listen to music, go to the art. Give your time and money to the people who give their heart and soul to make you happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And follow us on social media.
Aya, tupe handles.
Mimi ni DJ Lenium Kenya everywhere.
Easy Sunday, SUNDAE, kama ile ice cream. Easy Sunday. Okay. Mimi niko Instagram peke yake. Hiyo nyingine, hiyo TikTok hivi imenishinda. So hapo
ndio hao wamekataa.
So iko hivyo, wazee hongereni ya mengi. Mimi specifically nimejifunza. Mimi nimejifunza. Josh najua yeye anasoma kila siku, anakuja vizuri. Shamsa nimeona mpaka nimeona. So networking kama venye tu Lu hapa amesema. So guys, congrats.
Asante.
Show ilikuwa dope. It's very hard na unanijua.
Oh, yes.
Nikusifu.
Yes. Oh yes, unajua.
So hii leo ilikuwa mwecheche, lugha ya Josh. Ilikuwa mwecheche. Bwana tunaondoka. Sasa tunaenda ku network. Wewe pia nafikiri umeshika mawili matatu. Wewe wa Dar es Salaam asante sana. Yule wa hapa Dubai, si hii Dubai Dubai ile ya Dubai, asante sana. Yeye alikuwa anacheka tu mkisema kitu anacheka. Hao watu wako wanachekesha. So I think pia amejibamba. Yes. Lakini umecheka kwa sababu pia kuna jamaa wa stand up comedy. So next time ukirudi nchini, please tafuta nafasi uende kwa show yao moja. DJ Lenium ana daktari wa muziki. Show zako za ni inaitwa old school.
Old school bongo.
Yes.
Yes.
Na sijui kwa nini ni old school bongo.
Okay.
Na ndo naambia millennials wa change.
But coincidentally, we have about 40% of Gen Zs attending your event.
Niko na lalama zako nilikuwa nawaambia hawa asubuhi. I have some 2 fine ladies walinicomplainia.
Juu yangu ama juu ya event?
Juu ya event. So tutazungumza chini ya maji. Hiyo tutazungumza, niachie hapo nisianze kurusha mawe.
Kesho ni siku.
Yes.